Welcome to Black Talk Today podcast, and I'm your host, Troy. How's everyone doing today? It is June 8th, and it is hot. Of course, this is the way we want it to be, right? It's June, summertime. A couple of weeks ago, I was belly aching, crying the blues. Cold as hell at night. Still have my blanket out. Wondering where was summer. And now here I am asking for summer to go away because it's so goddamn hot. Damn near 90 degrees right now, and it's what? 10:30 a.m. in the morning. Well, maybe I'm a bit over-exaggerating. It's about 75 degrees, but it feels like it's 90 in here. Listen, man, a lot to get into this week. I got a lot to be grateful and thankful for. I had to sit and sit with myself the other day. And really, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I had to sit and pep talk myself. And I had to tell myself, your life is not that bad. Relax. There are people who are really down and out and doing bad. Things are on an up and up for you, boss. And I'm like, I can be the biggest critic of myself. Nobody can be harder on me than me. Especially when I make mistakes. And I pride myself on not making the same mistake twice, especially in life. And when I find myself doing that, I get very down. And I can be very harsh on myself. And I'm trying to give myself grace and realize, hey, my man, you're not perfect. You don't have to be. Right? Your crown can be crooked sometimes. It doesn't have to be straight all the time. But once you notice that it isn't straight, I need you to straighten that. And, like I said, man, in my last video, I'm very grateful. I find myself being very grateful and more aware and understanding of my place, not just my place in life and my plot in life, but also my morality and my peace of mind, right? And understanding that I need to feed that more than I need to feed other people. I have to feed myself. Prioritize myself, prioritize my feelings and my thoughts, my concerns and what benefits me. And I know it can sound a bit selfish, but I think you have to be a bit selfish at some point in time in your life, especially when it comes to you being happy. Your happiness has to be your number one priority before you can make anyone else happy. You got to be happy. And I'm doing that. So I'm not being hard on myself no more. Not like I used to be, at least. I got a lot to be grateful for. A lot of things are shaking and moving in my direction, in my favor. And I want that positive energy to continuously flow in my direction and in my favor. And I'm going to do everything possible to continue that it does. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I'm also looking for a dog. I'm looking for a puppy. So if you are in the Massachusetts area and you are looking to rehome puppies, particularly pit bull, chihuahua, something along those lines and veins of breeds, contact me. I'm sure there's several ways. You guys already know how to contact me. If you don't know how, follow my YouTube page at Black Talk Today and go to my main page and you can get my email directly from that page and get in contact with me if you are looking to, rehome a puppy. But in this particular podcast, I want to talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Along with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. I mean, I did a video particularly covering the Black Lives Matters organization, not the movement, not the phrase, but just the organization and its ideals and belief and what it stood for and what it represented. And, a lot of it I didn't agree with. But also what I don't agree with is the constant attacks on masculinity. And in America, there's been a war on black male masculinity more than ever. And we've been silenced. We have not been able to be who we are without being ridiculed. But it seems like the very same people that want to be accepted in other particular, genders of the nature, they can ridicule heterosexual men. They can ridicule masculine men. But masculine men, heterosexual men, can't have their opinion about their particular lifestyles. And I just think it's very unfair. It's uneven. Then again, I say all the time in my videos, fair is a place where pigs fly. And pigs apparently do not fly here in the northern region of the world. But I just can't stand it. Just being you. You just can't be you. And I find myself not being able to be me. People are more judgmental of me being headstrong and being assured of who I am and being confident and also being proud to be a black man. Believe it or not, and I'm not complaining, I'm just pointing out facts that I've experienced in my life, it rubs people the wrong way. Especially when you have a sense of direction of self and who you are as a black man, like I do. I just can't exist around people who are insecure about themselves, don't have any heading in the direction of their life and where they're going. So when they encounter me, they feel uncomfortable. And in their uncomfortableness, they then lash out and attack me. And while I can defend myself, I can't attack them in return because I got to be the bigger person. And I'm here to say I'm tired of being the bigger person. That shit gets old after a while. And I'm sure a lot of people can identify with that. You always having to take the higher road because you want to be the higher person. You want to be the more logical, sound thinking person. And I'm not saying that's the wrong way to think and that's the wrong way to be. But sometimes it gets a bit old in the tooth to constantly have to take that road. And I find myself at my wit's end. At some point, I'm just going to have to just speak my piece. And that's what I'm doing here, my podcast. Speaking my piece, speaking how I feel. And you guys already know me if you've been listening to my podcast now. You've been following me and you know who I am. You ever heard of something? You ever heard of something? The First Amendment. Respect my right, and I respect yours. As long as my opinion and my right of freedom of speech isn't causing anyone any bodily harm, isn't causing anyone to experience any kind of illness or death, and I don't wish any death upon anybody, why should I not be able to speak my truth in what matters to me? Why should I not be able to prioritize my ideals and beliefs and goals and just have them be what they are? While other people, such as celebrities, get to push their ideals and their propaganda and their ways of life and their ideals in the public spectrum and forum, and then we have to conform to them as everyday, normal, sane citizens because they have more wealth than us, because they have more popularity than us, because they have more influence than us. I don't buy that. Because at the end of the day, when you don't have the money and the wealth and the popularity, you're a normal, breathing, eating, shitting human being just like me. And I think people, at the end of the day, we get so caught up in materialistic things that we forget the idea and understanding that we're all human beings. And one of the most saddest thing that I just can't stand here in America, because I only see it here in America, is the simping men. And the women that want to be with men or turn men into men that are submissive, men that they can walk all over and do whatever the hell they want to do to and say whatever they want to say to. And these men typically conform and placate to what these women want them to be. And I'm not saying that when you're with a woman, you don't give up who you are, give up, you don't compromise some things about yourself, but you don't give up your innate identity and the foundation as a man to be with a woman. At the end of the day, you have to still be a man. That core profile of you as a person, it still has to remain. It doesn't get to be deleted and then another one downloaded onto you like a goddamn phone by the woman that you with, and she's the goddamn software creator. She's going to put whatever the hell she wants in it to suit her needs, not to suit you, not to benefit you. And I think that causes an imbalance in a lot of our relationships in our lives. And I think, unfortunately, now we have an abundance of beta male men that will go to bat for women that feel like they have the right, and it's the duty of a man to allow a woman to walk all over them. And I don't subscribe to that. I didn't come from a household like that. I was raised by a strong black man. It's unfortunate, but this is what the society has become. The men want to be the women and the women want to be the men. And it's a role reversal exchange that's going to be detrimental. Like, example, I was reading an article where Dwayne Wade, former Miami Heat basketball player, he had a wine gallery dinner event, right? Where he had guests in his, home, in his mansion, in his villa, whatever you want to call it. One of those big plateaus where, you only get a handful of Negroes that get to show up and the rest of the people are white or non-black. But he had one of these events where, he was showcasing his wine beverage. And, of course, his wife was there. And, again, I don't know if Dwayne Wade is he influencing his son or is his son influencing him? Because we all know his son is now a transgendered boy who's now referring to himself as a female. And even at one point in time, he wanted to, get surgery to have his penis removed so that he can have an anatomy of a woman. Boy, not even 15 years old yet. Telling his full-grown daddy, I want to cut my penis off so I can be a female because I feel like I was born in the wrong body. And Dwayne Wade is this very same man, right, that was raised in Chicago, who used to wear his sister's dress and dress up in his sister clothing behind closed doors. See, a lot of you didn't know that, but he admitted that himself in a podcast. And he was afraid to come out as a kid growing up in the inner city Chicago because he knew you're growing up in a predominantly masculine black community, you're going to get made fun of. You're probably going to get beat up. It's not going to be socially accepted of a young boy coming out as a transgendered individual living in a black community in those times in the inner city Chicago. In the 70s and the 80s, you couldn't come out like that. That wasn't acceptable then. The black nucleus family consisted of the father, mother, and child. And that was always the foundation of the black family. That was always the foundation of the American family, regardless of the race. white people, black people, that was always the foundation of what the premises of what we thought a family ought to be. The nuclear family. A biological woman, a biological male who would then mate and have offspring. But today it's all different. Today you get to redefine everything. Everything goes out the window. You get to erase the board, and you get to insert whatever you want in place of whatever you want, and no one gets to have an opinion on it. But the person that's doing the inserting and erasing of everything in the board and creating what they want to create gets to have the opinion on everyone else. And I just don't subscribe to that double standard. That's where the hang up comes for me, because if you're going to be able to live your best life and live in your truth, why can't I then live in my truth? And if my truth says I don't agree with you, I should still be able to live in my truth and not feel like I'm going to be attacked or made fun of or be outcast by society as someone who's a hater of someone because of their gender or their sex. No, it can just be I just don't agree with that. Why can't it just be that in itself? It's funny how the times has changed. But at any rate, Dwayne Wade, he shows up with his wife, and he has his white blouse on. And you're like, okay, he has a white blouse on, and, you know. But then, if you look in the picture, you look a bit closer, I see that this brother got some pearls around his neck. And I say, well, wait a minute here. Right? I say, well, wait a minute here. Those very same pearls are the type of pearls that my grandmother would wear. Those very same pearls are pearls that women would wear. Why would a man that is living a heterosexual life, that has a wife and has children, be wearing women pearls? Pearls are for females. Just like panties are for females. Just like bras, like the bra that a woman wears for her breasts. That's for the anatomy of a female. So pearls are accessories that women wear. But this man feels comfortable coming out wearing this type of shit. And I'm like, well, if I don't agree with that, do I get to not say anything? Am I wrong for saying something because I don't agree with that? Am I wrong for saying, hey, I don't want my son to never wear pearls? Even though they may enjoy Dwayne Wade as a basketball player. But now, if my son says, hey, Dad, I want to wear pearls because I see Dwayne Wade wearing pearls. And I say, son, you never saw me wear no pearls. So why the hell would you think that I will think that it's okay for you to wear pearls? And this is where the dilemma comes in at. Are we raising our children, or are we allowing celebrities to raise our children? Are we making an imprint on our children? Are we allowing individuals that don't contribute a damn to our children's lives, who don't give a damn about our children, but would influence our children in ways that may be detrimental to them? I want my son to give me grandchildren. I want my son to pass on the lineage that I passed on from my father, that I then passed on to him, and I want him to then pass it on to his son. I want us to live forever. I want this name to live forever. I want this family to live forever. And the only way you can do that is through the laws of nature. But I see in today's climate and time, everything that's abnormal is normal now. I had a conversation with a woman. She was telling me that I should accept the fact that a man and a woman, that's normal. No, it's not normal. It's acceptable in this society. There's a difference between normal. There's a big difference between being normal and accepted. Right? Like you might accept crime in the vicinity of the neighborhood in which you live in. You might, okay, well, look, you got to accept the fact that, everyone's not going to be good people. You're going to have bad people around you. You can't help that. You just got to accept the fact that that's what it is. So there's going to be crime that's going to be committed. People may get hurt. People might steal. But you can't help that. You just got to accept that. But it's not normal for people to do that. It's not normal for people to be criminals. It's not normal for people to want to hurt other people. That's not a normal thing to be accepting of. And my thing is here, it went from you not being able to have an opinion about anything as a heterosexual man to the heterosexual man and the masculine man being vilified for being heterosexual and being masculine. I want my son to play baseball. I don't want my son to play with no goddamn Barbie doll. You can't say that now. Because, well, what about your son? What if he wants to connect with his feminine side? There's a yin and a yang to everything in life. There's a balance in everything in life. Of course, your feminine side within your masculinity needs to be nurtured. That's where your mother comes in at. Your mother's going to nurture that feminine side in a boy. But your father's going to establish the masculinity in him as a man. He's going to fortify, this is what I am, so this is what you shall be. A man. I'm not talking about your personality. I'm not talking about what you're going to grow up to be. I'm talking about the fundamentals of who you are. A man. Your foundation. You're going to be founded on the foundation of manship, fellowship. But if you say that today, you can't do that. Just because Gabrielle Union wears the pants in her relationship and her husband does whatever the hell she tell him to do, that's not the norm. That's not acceptable. And to me, in my life. But you see this kind of nature being, in these kind of lifestyles being promoted within the black community, and it's being detrimental to our continuation as a community, into our family structure. Our family structure has already been fractured and damaged. But now you're adding another element to this on top of it. And there's a large expanse of our women within the black culture and the black community that promotes this within the black community. This is just my personal opinion. I believe Gabrielle Union married her gay best friend. Some of you may disagree with me, and that's fine. That's your right to. I would never tell somebody they can't have their own opinion. But I believe she married her gay best friend. I've never heard a man, And this is what Dwayne Wade said. I've never heard a man say at 3 years old he looked at his son and he told his wife, yo, my son might be gay. I've never heard a man, I don't know what a 3-year-old could do in front of their father. For their father in return can say to his wife, look, I think my son might be gay. We might need to start placating to what I think he might be. To me, it comes back to nurture or nature. See, we didn't, from what I personally believe, and I don't know what went on in their home, I don't believe nature was the fortifying factor in Dwayne Wade's son's life. I don't believe they let nature take its full course. I believe they nurtured that boy to be what he is now. And I personally believe, and this is my personal opinion, Dwayne Wade is living vicariously through his son. Dwayne Wade is allowing his son to be everything that he wanted to be when he was his age. Dwayne Wade wanted to be a woman because he used to wear his sister's clothes. And we got to sit here and be real. It's not normal for a boy to want to wear his sister's clothes. I got 2 sisters. I never went in their room and was trying on their clothes when I was a kid. Not only that, my mama wouldn't let me. If I even thought about doing some shit like that. Not only that, my sisters wouldn't let me if I thought about doing something like that. That never came to my mind to do something like that as a kid. That's not a normal process of thought for a young boy to want to do. So to see Dwayne Wade up here with a goddamn pearl necklace on and his wife got a pearl necklace on. It's not coincidental that his son is running around here carrying on talking about he's a woman or a young transgendered female. Your daddy wanted to be one. And he met a woman that was willing to let him be him. That's what it is. That's what it is. Gabrielle Union allowed him to be him. Ain't no real heterosexual woman. And of course, these guys claim themselves to be good Christians. Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. Let's not get too far away from that part. Some of the biggest hypocrites in this world are the religious people. Because they're the biggest freaks. They do all of this shit that they say they don't supposed to do, that they God will condemn them for. They're doing it. They're a part of it, they're partaking in it, and they're loving it. And then they'll go to church and perpetrate the fraud and point the finger at you and condemn you to hell every Sunday for you coming in there being real and honest and admitting to everything that you do in your life. But they ain't admitting to everything that they do behind closed doors in theirs. And that's one of the biggest perpetrators of the fraud that I have an issue with. But these are good Christian folks. My thing is, what are standards that women used to have for men? Have they really decreased that much? Like you can have bisexual tendencies as a man and still get a heterosexual woman to marry you? Is this what it's going for in 2021? This is what we're coming to. This is what, and I understand why you have folks that are so stringent upon sticking to the foundation of what they know and what their forefathers practiced in their history. Because the way this society is going, if you leave it up to the Christians, they tell you everybody's going to hell in a handbasket. Well, it seems like this society is going to hell in a handbasket. It seems like we're living in Sodom and Gomorrah right now. We out here fighting for our freedom as black people, black men and women, and Dwayne Wade is out here with a goddamn white blouse on, a woman blouse, shirt on, and the goddamn pearls around his neck. But other black men can't say nothing about that. Heterosexual straight black men that have an issue with this, we're wrong, we're bad, we're the anti-gay people. When all we saying is, hey, if you're claiming to be heterosexual, well, you got to show heterosexual traits, brother. If you gay, if you trans, well, live your life. Live your best life. Enjoy it. Embrace it. We want you to be a part of that if that's what makes you happy. We want you to be accepting of that community if that's what you want to be a part of. No one's ridiculing anybody that's gay. No one's ridiculing anybody that's trans or anything like that. That's not heterosexual. My thing is, if you're heterosexual, you got to be heterosexual, brother. And there's certain things that heterosexual men do, and there's certain things that heterosexual men don't. You can't switch up the rules and change the guidelines because it fits you today and it don't fit you tomorrow. That don't work like that. So why is it that heterosexual men can't hold heterosexual men to a standard if they're claiming to be heterosexual men, but when we hold them to a standard and they're doing suspect things that make us question their heterosexualness, we got to be the villains? How does that work? How does that work? But if I was a gay man and I'm like, I'm gay, but I don't sleep with men, I sleep with women, gay people will come out and say, well, you're not gay, so stop calling yourself gay. If a lesbian woman was claiming that she's a lesbian, but yet she doesn't sleep with women, she only sleeps with men, but she still claims that she's a lesbian, lesbian women or gay women will come out and say, well, stop calling yourself a lesbian, man. You're not a lesbian. You don't sleep with women. You sleep with men. You're not gay. So why is it that when I see somebody doing something suspect, we can't call them out for it? What kind of liberal tongue lashing that we got to receive every time we speak the truth that's our truth? To me, I don't understand. I think when it comes down to it, I think in all seriousness, right? I think it's very dangerous when you silence people from being able to express their natural thoughts and feelings about anything. And again, I said in the beginning of this video, if one's opinion or one's freedom of speech isn't causing harm or death, it's actually causing a conversation to occur. And it's causing questions to arise. I think it's all fair game. And it shouldn't be an issue. But I don't know what heterosexual women want to be led by a man that has tendencies or proclivities that a gay man would have, or would do things that a gay man would do. I think even the most heterosexual women will question that, like, hey, I didn't think you moved like that. They would then even have questions for, so why can't men have questions for men that are doing things that are in question? That's just my personal opinion about it. But then again, you know, I'm just one black man. Y'all knock me out. Well, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex, they recently had their second child, and it happened to be a little girl, and they named her Lilibet Diana. So you already know they had a little boy who's now, I believe, 3 years old, and now they had a little girl, and they named the little girl after Prince Harry's grandmother and his mother. And, you know, they over here in the States, they stateside. They was up in Canada. Canada said, look, y'all not royal here. We're not going to provide you guys any protection, any kind of free security, anything like that anymore. Y'all need to either go back to Britain, Europe, or y'all need to leave here. We don't care what y'all do. Y'all just can't stay here no more. And so they made their way down south to the United States. And so they're here in the States, and everything that they do is like headline news. And I'm like, well, that Prince Harry title doesn't fly here because there's no princes and queens and kings here. That monarchy stuff flies across seas. So, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't know why we care as American people how many kids they have, what the title is, what they're going through. Look, you married this American woman, Prince Harry, you need to find a place for her to live. You from over there, take her ass with you back over there. Regardless of how racist it is over there, regardless of how your family feels about her over there, regardless of whatever the situation is over there, she chose on the dotted line to sign up for all that shit. This is a grown-ass woman, Meghan Markle, grown-ass woman. She knew the history and what your family was about. And if she didn't, it's called being an adult. Live with your decisions. She chose to let you lay on top of her twice, knowing damn well all of the energy and repercussions that come along with dealing with you. And now, last year she came back crying the blues. Oh, they're not going to let me, let my child have any security. They're not going to allow my child to have any title within the monarchy. They're concerned about the color of my child's skin. Well, what do you thought? What did you think? Right? Who do you think these people are? What lineage did you think they came from? Right? Like, you claim to be so smart, Prince Markle, that is, Meghan Markle, right? You claim to be so bright and smart and articulate and respectfully. So you had to see all this coming. You know they don't have any darkies in within their families. They keep their bloodline relatively sterile on purpose because they try to keep the foundation of who they are intact. While you think they have a history of screwing their brothers and their sisters and their daddies and their uncles, and they keep the bloodline the way it is, and you thought you was going to bring your half-mixed ass over there, have kids with this man, and everything was going to be cool in the game? No. So excuse me if I was, and I might be a bit, insensitive about the situation, but I didn't care when it was, what color is the child's skin going to be? We need to know what color the picnic skin is going to be. If it's too darker than a brown paper bag, we don't want it. What did you think was going to happen? Again, I'm not even screwing nobody within the monarchy, and I know their whole history. So I'm sure Meghan Markle, before you had your legs up, you knew it too. So they're here now in America, and you had Tyler Perry holding them up in his mansions and taking care of them. I don't know why he's even doing that. I wonder how many. No, I don't want to say anything bad about Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry has done a lot for black women. He didn't do shit for black men, but then again, he's gay, so I mean that's the way that goes. But he's been housing them and holding them up and giving them security and treating them like royalty and things like that. But at the end of the day, then first of all, he's not American. Those kids are not, well, one of the kids are American, I believe, because one of the kids was born here. The daughter was born here. The boy was born, I believe, over there. So, yeah. So, technically, now that I think about it, I believe she has dual citizenship because she was born here. She had the baby over there, the first boy in Europe. She had him over there, and she had a girl here. So I believe she has dual citizenship, more likely than not. But at any rate, my thing is, Prince Harry, you married her, bring her back across seas. Because the American people don't care about this shit. Respectfully. The couple announced in a statement Sunday that their daughter was born Friday at the Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital in Santa Barbara, California. She and Meghan are healthy and settling in at home. Lili is named after her great-grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen, whose family nickname is Lilibet. I swear, Queen Elizabeth, she don't die. I swear, I'm telling you, I don't know whatever it is. Since I was a kid, she was always this old. And I'm getting old now. And she's still the same age. It seems like she don't age at all. I don't know if it's in the blood, if it's the genetics, but she does not age. And I'm not saying that to be funny here. I'm not saying that to be, sideways or cheeky, whatever you want to call it. But I can't be the only one that's noticing this shit. It's like she doesn't age, man. She doesn't age. It's scary. I digress. Her middle name is Diana, was chosen to honor her beloved late grandmother, the Prince of Wales. So they're here living in Cali. And, the family is still pissed off because, they're like, well, why did Prince out us as a racist family for his darkie, for his wife? Why did he do it? This is the very same Prince Harry that was wearing a Nazi costume during Halloween. This is the same Prince Harry that had a bunch of black maids that was taking care of him, cleaning him, catering to him, serving him, and fucking him at the same time before he got with Meghan Markle. But he never married any of them. He was just fucking on them. But when he found somebody who was mixed, that looked can pass for white, that was American, he was like, because best believe, Prince Harry could have got a black woman in London. There's plenty of blacks in London, in Europe. There are plenty of mixed mulatto women in Europe. But he wanted somebody from America. He got her. And, of course, if you know her background, her daddy was white. Her mother was like Jamaican and, to some degree. And her mama used to clean her daddy house because her daddy was wealthy. Her mama used to clean her daddy house. Then her daddy started to sleep with her mama. They became a couple, got her pregnant, and then that's how you got Meghan Markle. And we're going to keep it all the way real. We're going to keep it all the way real. Meghan Markle's daddy was even racist towards her mama. But see, we don't get to spill all the beans like that. We just fall in love with what we want to fall in love with about people. But if you really start pulling the goddamn skeletons out the closet, you be like, God damn, that's a big femur bone. That's a big tibia bone. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you really dig into these people's background and who they are as people, then these are not great people. So my thing is, every time they sneeze or cough, they got to make the headline news. And again, they do nothing for American people. And I never understood why black people, particularly black women in America and in the Caribbean, they were so excited when Meghan Markle got with Prince Harry. Oh, girl, you leveling up. Girl, you leveling up. Black women were, I'm going crazy. She got her a white man. She got her a prince. Knowing the history of that goddamn family. Regardless of what the family history is, long as you get you a white man, you leveling up. Ain't that a bitch? By the way, bitch is not even a curse word because a bitch is a female dog. So that's not really a curse word. And that's a part of my French, and that's a part of my Sumerian. If other people want to make shit up, why I can't make shit up? That's how I feel about that. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, what are we celebrating about them? Why are we so invested in Meghan Markle? I don't get it. And then the black women that are so excited for everything that she do, as if it's an accomplishment for you. The women that look like Meghan Markle that live within your communities, you know, the high bright, the red bones, or the high yellow black chicks that y'all call black, even though they're mulatto, but y'all call them black. I don't get it why black people keep calling mulatto people black, but y'all do it anyway. Those are the very same women that y'all have issues with. Am I lying? Because in the black community, the lighter you are, the more interest you get from black men than the dark women. Am I lying? Am I flying? The more fair skinned you are within the black community, if you're a black woman or you are labeled as a black woman, the better opportunities you get, the better jobs you get. So you might be like, yo, it's 2021. Things are changed for us in our community. There's no more colorism. We don't look at each other like that. You be surprised. It's still on some 1665 shit, the way that we feel about each other still. And that's the God honest truth. So the Meghan Markle supporters who are black like me, dark like me, I don't see why y'all supporting her, because y'all would hate her. Y'all would hate her type because she got fair skin, straight hair. She would get all the black men that y'all couldn't get. They'll be treated better. They'll get better opportunities. But yet and still, whenever there's somebody that has an ounce of black mixed in them, they black. We quick to... The crowd goes wild. They got a mix. They got a small percentage of black in them, so they're black. We're the only race that do this shit. We're the only race that do this shit. Mix a small amount of black in them, they black. White folks over there in the cut like, yo, that's a mulatto. You ain't black, you ain't white, you mixed. So we ain't gonna perpetrate the fraud here. We gonna call you what you is. And that's what Prince Harry family did. They know who's black, they know who's white. White folks know who's black and who's white. They're not dumb. Why you think they don't want to accept that little goddamn boy they had 3 years ago? I don't care how fair skinned, how pink his lips is, and how pink he is when he come out as a kid. He's mixed. And that Negro genetics can pop up at any time. Like a Jack-in-the-Box clown. It'll just pop up. Just scare your ass. Here I am. Fuck your whole family tree up. That's what it was like. No titles. No. We don't want no titles here. He can't get no title. No title. No national recognition. No security. And we want to know how dark he is. That's what they told Meghan Markle. I didn't make this shit up. That's what she said they said. But yet she still wanted to have Prince Harry lay on top of her again. Like these problems are not going to go away because you ain't living there anymore. You're living over here. Meghan Markle, you know at some point in time he's going to take his ass back over there. You do know that, right? He's not from here. He's not from Canada. Y'all can't keep globe-trotting all across the world looking for a place to stay, because at some point in time he gonna say, yo, Meghan, look, honey, you gonna have to grow some tougher skin, and you are mixed, and you're gonna be treated differently. I love you, you're my wife, but you knew what you signed up for. I have a title. I'm not resigning this title for your ass, and you gonna need to fall in line. So we not staying in California for the rest of our lives. Eventually, I got some shit over there I gotta go back to. You gonna fall in line, or you gonna fall in line? Well, it's only one option. So, and that's why I don't understand why people we play dumb over here in America, like we don't understand what's going on. Like we don't understand the play in the nature of who we dealing with and the things that they're doing and how they dealing with us. Prince Harry family, they're not. He doesn't come from good stock. He'll never come from good stock. Unfortunately, that history is following him forever. That monarchy exists because people like me and my people had to endure what they put us through. Right? And I'm not saying that you got to hate people because of past transgressions of what their ancestors have done. I've said that over and over in plenty of my videos. But my thing is the truth. Regardless of who feelings it hurts, and you got to be able to admit the truth and stand on the truth. It doesn't need to be defended. And when someone tries to change it, no, you don't let them change it. The truth is the truth. Now, who you become as your own individual person in your lifespan, in your lifetime, that can be, that's on you. You create your own narrative at that point. But where you come from does matter. Who you associate with after that does matter. And if you continue to lay in the bed with the very same people that we know never had any good intentions for my people, oh no, it's no second chances. There's no coincidence. There's no, I didn't know. No, you know what you're doing. So excuse me again, respectfully. If I don't give a damn what happens to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their kids, it's not, I'm an American. I'm a black American over here. She need to deal with whatever way she feel about the queen and that lineage and that monarchy. That's what she signed up for. She signed up for that. Just like she signed up to reap the benefits and get the title of whatever title she got. Hey, take the good with the bad, for better or for worse. That's what you signed up for. Good luck. But don't come over here crying the blues about what they're saying about you. And don't come over here having all your kids over here. Follow your husband back home to where he's from and let him house you and hold you up and keep you kept. But I'm not coming to Meghan Markle's defense about what's going on and how they treating her and who. I'm not doing that. Not one bit. I'd be a fool to do that. You ever heard why fools fall in love? That ain't my problem. I ain't a fool. I didn't fall in love with him. You did. You got to figure out how to come out of that if it bothers you that much. And if it doesn't, then shut up. Quit crying all the time about how hard it is. You depressed. Well, you had your legs up twice. You can't be that depressed. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me and my logic and how I see things and perceive things. But I just don't have any care in the world for what happens to them or what's going on with them in the world, because no one cares on what's going on with me, So why should I care about people who don't care about me? Doesn't make sense. Like, people need to live in the real world, live in reality. And the reality is Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, they're going to live their life to the best of their ability, and they're going to live the best life. And you are just going to be living your normal American life, and they can't affect it or change it at all. So I don't see the point in taking stock into every single breath they take and every move they make. that has to be a headline tabloid news coverage article about what's going on here in America. We got far more pressing issues as American people and American citizens that we readily need to address, and it's about time we start doing that. It's about time that we start doing that. Well, guys, this is Black Talk Today podcast, and I'm Troy. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today for June 8th. Like I said, it is hot. I'm thinking about going to the beach tonight. I think we're going to do the beach tonight. Lay up under the goddamn moon. Hopefully it's cool. Dip my feet in the goddamn sand or something. Because it is hot. Hotter than fish grease right now. But then again, it's expected. It's summertime. And listen, man. Appreciate everyone for listening. You can follow me on YouTube at Black Talk Today Podcast. You can also follow me on YouTube at Black Talk Today. Both those channels you can link me at. Watch some of my content over there if it pleases your palate. And I'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Remember, guys, you ever heard of something? Call the First Amendment. Respect my right. Defend my right. Because I damn sure would defend yours.